Hello, everybody. Antifa has published a list of addresses and names of politicians on their infamous website Indymedia. Indymedia is famous for, leaving all these claims of responsibility for all kind of attacks. Usually they are about arson, about property damage, but occasionally you also find death threats. And in this case on Indymedia, they have published not only a very specific death threat towards a number of AfD politicians, but also they gave a very detailed explanation of how to conduct potential murders. I personally have not seen the addresses myself, but according to news magazine Focus, there had been an attachment to their website, and I'm now going to read out to you their message to their ideological peers, which is a print of the instructions. The explosives are capable of killing the band of swine of the AfD. Höcke is one that must be taken out. The cops can die with them. Time has come for solid actions. Remain dead serious. I have to say that the word for cops is actually more rude than the English equivalent. They say Bullenschwein, which is a composite word of a cop as the animal and a swine. So it's a degradation of the police. And I have my little suspicions why Antifa is anti-police and how this is confused with anarchism and being somewhat skeptic of the overall state. Those people are not opposed to the state. They are opposed to law enforcement. This is partly in order to overthrow society, to undermine it, and to destabilize it. A lot of these people in the past used to be supported by the Soviet Union. That's where they got their money from for a long, long time. I suspect right now that I know vaguely where today's funds come from, but for legal reasons, I kind of keep that for myself. I just have suspicions, no evidence. So they are targeting cops. They hate cops, and they are okay with them dying alongside their supposed political enemies. As others have noted, like Mr. No, the American, most prominent American anti-Antifa scholar, Antifa aren't actually terribly political. That sounds a bit weird because they work cult-like. They are attacking people that step out of line, and they are so accurate in their language and in enforcing their ideological dogmas that you might think that they are actually driven by ideology. But it seems more that the driving force behind Antifa has always been and will always be that these people like violence, and they are looking for excuses to justify their violence. I've not read the full letter so far, and I won't, because it's a very lengthy one, and it includes specific, very concrete instructions of how to make bombs. And this, alongside the addresses, is the reason why a number of police departments are looking into it. Among them is the federal police, the BKA. That's our equivalent of the FBI. And the Staatsschutz police. The Staatsschutz, or state protection police, they get active when they suspect political motivation. And this is because we have this communist threat on our heels, with East Germany had been under the occupation of the Soviet Union, and they knew that there are forces trying to destabilize the country. So we have a special police unit looking into potential political motivations behind crimes. If it's likely that there is some political motivation. They also do this if they suspect that some Islamist or some neo-Nazi is threatening or is hurting somebody else or damaging some property. Then Staatsschutzpolice gets active. Additionally, there are two state police departments who are also looking into this. Nobody knows who the authors are and where they live, and therefore, of course, a number of police departments have to look into it. It is anonymous. Indymedia, I think that's how it's pronounced. They work anonymously. I can't access the page, and so the police also is looking into all corners. Now, I want to say that many people think because they are attacking the police and because they say, that's a phrase, they are against the state, that therefore they are somehow anarchists, and they sometimes identify as anarchists. Communists are very good in just swapping words and pretend that something is very different from what your average citizen would say it is. A famous example is democracy. That means something else. And for example, North Korea is not just a democracy, but it's a democratic republic. And if you ask the regime, you probably get some answer what these words mean. And likewise, the idea of a state in communism is removed by a totally different concept, and that is an administration. So if you ask a communist what he wants, how he expects life to continue, when that evil states, the capitalist system, the nation, the nation is the source of all evil. If that is removed, then of course you will see basically all the work that usually is done by the state, done by an administration. That's the very same thing. They just changed the words. I've also heard recently some woman from the SED, that's a party that ran the East German dictatorship, saying that she is against NATO and she wants to replace it with a defense alliance. So she's replacing something with the same thing. But it seems to work very well for the political left to just change the meaning of words, or to change words and keep the meaning. So they are not fighting against the state. They actually want a huge government controlling every aspect of your life. But they are fighting the existing government, the existing state, even though the existing state is largely doing what they want anyways. And this is because they have this revolutionary mindset, and this is also because they are not ideologically driven. They want to justify their violence with the theory, and therefore they are trying to overthrow the capitalist system, and its fist, so to say, is the military and the police. And these are the two institutions of the state they are attacking. Once they have control, they have a state, they have a police, and they have more of it than anywhere else. If you want to see a lot of soldiers, go to North Korea. There you see it in plain sight, literally on every corner. But for now, of course, all cops are bastards. They must die, or they can die. It doesn't matter. They are swine, and they want to topple the state in favor of the state, which is not called the state. That was it for today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.